Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent is a good friend of mine and a very even-handed guy. He and Elon got into a physical altercation.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're taking a look at what well-known public figures have had to say about the ugly, painfully public fallout between U.S. President Donald Trump and billionaire Elon Musk.
I did not say I told you so. I said I love being proven right because I was.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Any quick reaction on what's going on with Elon Musk and President Trump on Twitter right now?
Oh man, the girls are fighting, aren't they? I would say that this was something that was a long time coming.
The representative for New York's 14th Congressional District hasn't been shy to voice her feelings about the president or his ex-bestie over the years. At the 2024 Democratic National Convention, Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC, blasted Trump, saying that if elected, he would, quote, sell this country for $1 if it meant lining his own pockets and greasing the palms of his Wall Street friends, end quote.
And I, for one, am tired of hearing about how a two-bit union buster thinks of himself as more of a patriot than the woman who fights every single day to lift working people out from under the boots of greed, trampling on our way of life.
So when approached by a Spectrum News reporter asking for her thoughts on Trump and Musk's headline-making feud, Ocasio-Cortez responded simply by quoting a popular internet meme. The Congresswoman elaborated by suggesting that the bust-up was easily predicted and that, quote, these two huge egos were not long for being together in this world as friends.
I think this breakup we've been seeing a long time coming, but we'll see what the impacts are of it legislatively.
Jack White.
I'm gonna fight 'em all. A seven-nation army couldn't hold me back.
The former White Stripes frontman and guitarist has come to proverbial blows with the president on more than one occasion. Trump first aroused White's ire in 2016 after using his song Seven Nation Army without permission in his campaign materials. When Trump's 2024 campaign once again used the song without asking, Jack and his bandmate/ex-wife Meg filed a copyright infringement lawsuit, which they later decided to drop.
And a message coming from my eyes says leave it alone.
Upon learning about the Trump-Musk fiasco, the rocker took to Instagram to air his grievances. In a no-holds-barred post, White humorously referred to Trump, Musk, and disgraced rapper Kanye West as, quote, Nazi clowns collapsing under the weight of their own unchecked egos.
And the stains coming from my blood tell me go back home.
Jake Paul.
POV. 100 days left before President Trump delivers another knockout.
Got a good stance, Loki. He got a jab, I think.
That's pretty good. We're not messing with this guy.
This celebrity influencer has seemingly done it all. From a Disney kid to a massively successful YouTuber to a gimmick-embracing boxer, it's inarguable that Paul has had a powerful knack for keeping himself in the spotlight. He's also flirted with politics. In 2023, Paul seems to endorse Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy before vocally shifting his support to Trump after the latter's 2024 assassination attempt.
Do I think Donald Trump is a perfect human being? No, I don't think anybody on this planet is a perfect human being, myself included. Don't judge people off of a character that the media has portrayed them to be. Because Democrats control 90% of the US media, so they will paint a picture to y'all, and that picture is what they want you to see.
However, that hasn't stopped him from criticizing the president over his conduct in the wake of his spat with Elon Musk. Said Paul in a post to the Musk-owned social media platform X, quote, Elon and Trump are great, but they need to work together and not make America look bad.
I'm not concerned with Donald Trump's character flaws or what he's done in the past. What I'm concerned with is how good of a president is he? Because that is his job, and that is what's going to affect the people of this nation. Oh, Bill Belichick, so hard to work with. He's a dick to all of his players, but yet he's the most winningest coach in all of the NFL.
Jon Stewart.
He's leaving. He's leaving his job to make more family with his time.
If you know anything about this comedian/firebrand political commentator, then you'll likely have surmised that he's not exactly a fan of President Trump's or Mr. Musk's for that matter. Having hosted the long-running news satire program The Daily Show from 1999 to 2015, Stewart returned by popular demand in 2024.
He went from tech titan, given a mandate to move fast and crush the deep state, to guy who had a bad night in Nashville bar he can't remember. Like that. He's got that look like, has anyone seen my shoes?
Anchoring the show one night a week, Stewart's rants have often gone viral and tend to focus on Trump's unconventional and often unprecedented use of executive power. Said Stewart on the feud specifically, quote, "It must be hard for the right to see how petty and petulant these two man-babies are, and how they wield their power in vindictive and capricious manners when they don't get exactly their way, and the damage that behavior causes."
I mean, you can't blame them. This whole project was cutting money from the government, trying to find efficiencies, and sneaking a Trojan horse in the back door and stealing all our data. But Trump is spending $200 billion more than the previous administration did in this amount of time, and creating a deficit-exploding big, beautiful bill that is the antithesis of everything Musk said he was trying to do.
Kanye West.
But some more sober minds are calling for a ceasefire.
Kanye West reacting to the feud today, posting, "Bros, please, no. We love you both so much."
Look, you know you've gone too far when Kanye West is saying, "Please stop being messy on the internet."
Here's a thought experiment for you. What if you traveled 10 years back in time to 2015 and told people that Kanye West, now identifying as a neo-Nazi, was attempting to mediate a spat between President Donald Trump and Elon Musk? Well, chances are you probably have some ideas, but in any case, that's the situation we now find ourselves in.
I mean,
Bro,
no! He's like the kid, with dueling parents. Who gets custody of Kanye?
Exactly. Not us.
Problem.
The two of them can figure that
child.
out. No, problem child.
I mean, we all saw this coming.
Shortly after the news broke, the controversial musician took to X to post the following, quote, "Bros, please no. Hug emoji. We love you both so much." End quote. While it remains unclear which we the rapper was referring to, public efforts by West, as well as billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman, have not appeared to bring the pair any closer together.
Ye has entered the chat. It's Kanye, Elon, and Trump. The easiest game of marry, kill ever.
Randy Quaid.
Trump trumpets reveille, and it's time to heed the call. The framers have been framed. The people disarmed. Conservative voices are silenced in the schools by anarchists left unmasked. Merry Christmas is greeted cheerlessly, even condemned.
This prolific actor, in between numerous personal scandals, which include nearly being deported from Canada, has been a vocal Trump supporter since his first presidential campaign. In fact, Quaid was so vocal in his view that the 2020 election was stolen from Trump that the president retweeted some of his posts at that time.
Oh, glory is being ripped to shreds by fakers and phonies, and bullies and liars who want to destroy our president and redefine the sovereignty of the Supreme Court, rewrite the rules. A day of reckoning is nigh.
Said Trump, quote, "Thank you, Randy, working hard to clean up the stench of the 2020 election hoax," end quote. After Trump and Musk acrimoniously went their separate ways, Quaid took to X to praise both men for what he saw as their, quote, transparency, before veering almost impressively off topic to bash his brother Dennis, calling him a, quote, very bad person and a liar, as well as a, quote, pedestrian actor.
Randy doesn't like me to talk about him and what's going on with him. All I can say is that I really love my brother, and I miss my brother. And I will say this, Randy could have like a great third act.
Rob Schneider.
Trump. Because here's the thing. I know the guy, I don't know him well, but I'm the only person you're ever going to be in the same room with who made a movie with Donald Trump. Home Alone 2.
A three-time Emmy nominee for his early 90s tenure on Saturday Night Live, comedian and filmmaker Schneider has increasingly come under fire for controversial remarks he's made in recent years. These include, but certainly aren't limited to, his support of anti-vaccine activism, and a perceived bashing of the LGBTQ+ community.
The foundation did not provide details about the jokes made by the comedian at the event, but attendees have told CBC News that Schneider's set included jokes at the expense of transgender people and about COVID-19 vaccinations. In a statement, the foundation says, "We do not condone, accept, endorse, or share Mr. Schneider's positions."
The vocally conservative Schneider, whose frequent posting to X often represents his viewpoints, initially endorsed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for president before switching his support to Trump. On X, Schneider seemed torn about Trump and Musk's feud, saying that, quote, homicidal Democrats threatened Musk's life repeatedly for the last half a year, and he worked for months, end quote. He also posted what appeared to be a poem encouraging Musk to breathe and reminding him that, quote, you are loved. Stephen King.
The last time I was here, I had a president who had just given me a National Medal of the Arts thing, which we argued over.
Yeah.
And now we've got a president who blocked me on Twitter.
A veritable master of horror and post-apocalyptic fiction. Even beloved author King could likely never have imagined the current political situation we find ourselves in. It's fitting, then, that King has long been a vocal Trump detractor, signing a letter in 2016 that condemned his presidential candidacy and, quote, the rise of a political candidate who deliberately appeals to the basest and most violent elements in society, end quote.
What did you do to that good man that hurt his feelings so much that he felt the only way to defend himself was through your harsh and hurtful words? Was to block you on Twitter?
I might have said he had his head somewhere where a certain yoga position would be necessary to get it there.
When the news broke that Musk and Trump wanted nothing to do with each other, the author seemed nonplussed, but not without good reason, describing the situation as, quote, couple of billionaires having a hissy little cat fight. King shrugged the feud off by saying that, quote, the world actually has problems.
Have you ever blocked anybody?
Yes, I blocked Donald Trump.
You blocked Trump?
I did.
The whole administration?
No, actually, I blocked Mike Pence, too.
Steve Bannon.
You know, the president was more than kind to Elon, to bring him in, to treat him like family, to have his family at Mar-a-Lago, he and his son. President Trump gave him total access, total support. The Doge effort was very supported. I was a big supporter of deconstructing the administrative state. And, you know, what we found out is that he didn't find any fraud.
Breitbart News co-founder Bannon has been one of the 47th president's staunchest allies over the years, even serving as CEO for his 2016 presidential campaign, and following that as senior counselor to the president for a few months in 2017. The love has gone both ways. When Bannon was arrested in 2024 on charges of conspiracy to commit mail fraud and money laundering, Trump granted him a lifeline in the form of a presidential pardon. Bannon has since emerged as one of Musk's harshest critics since the latter's dismissal from the White House, encouraging Trump to investigate the billionaire's alleged drug use and even suggesting that he should be deported to South Africa.
You don't have someone there that may have a major drug issue, that may have a major relationship with the Chinese Communist Party, that may not be a legal citizen. Those are the three investigations that I think have to happen right away. His drug use is outlined in the New York Times. His involvement with the Chinese Communist Party that's been outlined by the Washington Post and Wall Street Journal.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Vivian Wilson.
Well, if you put two men of that variety into a room together and force them to collaborate when both of them are very, how do I say this?
Divas.
No.
Egomaniacal man-children.
Well, yes.
Thin-skinned narcissists.
Well, yes. But,
power-hungry thin-skinned narcissists.
Oh, you're not stopping, are you?
Wikipedia describes Wilson as an American social media personality and model. She also happens to be the estranged daughter of Elon Musk and his first wife, Canadian author Justine. After coming out as transgender in 2020, she gradually began to cut off all contact with her famous father, and in 2022 legally took her mother's maiden name. In the court petition, Wilson expressly conveyed her wishes to no longer have anything to do with her father in any way, shape, or form.
It is basically a matter of time, and we saw that matter of time end. And you know what I did during that day?
What?
I did not give a No, when that happened, it was like an hour before I had scheduled a stream where I was supposed to talk about Eurovision with this drag queen who I love named Maxi Rainbow. Shout out.
In an exclusive interview with Teen Vogue, Wilson was asked for her thoughts on her father's political blowout. Over iMessage, she responded with a meme of Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants and simply asked if that would be sufficient. Which celeb reaction had you reaching for your popcorn? Be sure to let us know in the comments below.
Meanwhile, some people in MAGA world are so freaked out by this breakup that they've chosen to respond in denial.